Today we are going to discuss intro to CICS, introduction to CICS, and differences between batch and online application, and have something called maps part. We'll discuss all these three. So CICS, what is CICS stands? Customer Information Control System. Customer Information Control System. CICS module or subsystem we use as front end in mainframe technology. We use CICS as a front end module in mainframe technology, and CICS is a subsystem. In mainframe, there are so many subsystems are there, like TSO, DB2, CICS, IMS DB, and other subsystems. So CICS is one of the subsystem in mainframe technology. CICS is another one of the subsystem in mainframe technology, right? So how the CICS is going to work? Okay, I'll explain all of them now. So example team, if you take a Java, okay, if you take a Java technology, we use the front end. Okay, front end we use HTML, CSS, and nowadays Angular, JavaScript, and Angular, and many more. Okay, so to develop the screens, what is the meaning of front end? To develop the web pages, to develop the web pages, or we call as them screens. In mainframe technology we call them screens. So to develop the front end screens, we use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Angular, and many more. So if you develop the front end, if you develop the web pages, no use. If you develop the web pages itself, no use. So whatever you are entering on the web page, it should be processed by some programming language. So the programming language, that is nothing but business logic. Business logic is written in core Java. Okay, core Java. Next, okay, so the core Java is the one which will take the data from the front end and it will store in the database. So database is Oracle. So maximum Java projects will have the Oracle. Okay. Any queries? Right. So we use JDBC and all to transfer JDBC. Okay. JDBC and all they will use. It is not important for us at this moment. Okay. So there is a front end to develop the web pages. Core logic is the one which is interface between the front end and database and to validate some constraints or logics. Okay. This is all about Java technology. If you take a .NET technology, if you take a .NET, we have front end even also. The front end is ASP.NET. The business logic, business logic or language which we use is C# and other modules also. And database, .NET people they use SQL Server. SQL Server they use as a database. Okay, so this is in .NET technology, right? But how you deal in a mainframe technology, correct? Now, front end in mainframe use CICS screens. Okay, we use CICS screens to develop the screens. If you go to the ATM machine, the black and white will be there, right? The black and white screens. If you go to railway stations, in railway station counters also, there will be black and white screens. So we use using CICS only. And the business logic are programming language is COBOL. And database, okay, in mainframe database it can be a VSAM or DB2 or IMS DB. Okay, so you can store the data either in IMS DB, you can store the data in a database, that is a DB2, or you can store the data in the file system called VSAM. So this is how data will be stored, and what are the modules are involved in this one, right? So any queries so far? So there are three components team in online technology, in online application. One is presentation layer, one is a presentation layer, the second one is business layer, the third one is database layer. So this will be there irrespective of the technology. This will be there irrespective of the technology. The first one, the presentation layer. Presentation layer. Presentation layer. So what is the presentation layer? Presentation layer is in our technology in mainframe CICS. Okay, CICS. Then the other one is business layer. So business layer, here we use a technology, or what we use here in mainframe, we use COBOL. And here database layer is DB2 or VSAM or IMS DB. So in our training, we are going to deal with the VSAM and DB2. Okay. Now, so what happens? The presentation layer is the one which is visible to the end users. Okay. So end user is going to sit different ATM machines. You say that ATM machines. So here is the one end user. Here is the one end user, and we have another end user. They are operating from different places. Each end user operating from different places. Now, so when end user, nothing but like you are accessing the ATM machine, you are accessing the ATM machine. So when you are accessing the ATM machine, you do some operation on the front end screen. So whatever the CICS should do the validations, whatever the CICS supposed to do the validations, CICS will do all the validations, and if all the validations are fine, the relevant instructions or data, whatever the data is entered or options are entered by the end user, that will be passed passed to business layer. So COBOL will see what is entered by the user, what data is entered by the end user. So COBOL will see that what is the option, what is the relevant option. So let's say user is entered user ID password. So COBOL can do validation whether the both fields are a blank. If the user ID is a blank, then COBOL itself can return a result back to the end user stating that boss, your username is blank, password is a blank, both are blank. So that can be possible, right? So without entering the credentials, you might be clicking or proceed button. So COBOL can do the simple logic checks. If everything is fine, then it can validate in the database. So database will validate, it will give the some response to the COBOL. COBOL will again, based on the database response, COBOL will do some process if it is required. then it will send the result to the end user. Like that, again, based on the result, user will select option and do like this. If you take an example, okay, if you take an example, real-time example, team, ATM machine. So user will insert the ATM card. They will select the language. What is the first option they selected? Language. So means that it will go to the business layer. So based on the language, COBOL will throw the another screen. Is it required to check the database layer now? No. Okay. So if it is an English language, then display the relevant text. If it is a local Telugu or Hindi, Kannada or Tamil, whatever the local language, so again responding to here. Now user, yeah, so users, okay, saw the another screen in local language and asking to per password. So now user will enter the password in the presentation layer. So now what happens? The password will go to business layer. Okay, if in this logic, in the COBOL business logic, any validations are there, it will check. If there are no validation, straight away it will do check in the database, because all the passwords will be stored in the database. It can be VSAM or DB2 or IMS DB. So after doing the validations, okay, if the entered password is correct against that user and it is valid, then it will send the result back to the COBOL stating that SQL code is 00, successfully selected, the data retrieved, so no issues. So success SQL code is 00, data is retrieved. Then it will display the another screen. Okay, so there end user will select either for mini statement or password change or balance withdrawal. So user will select one option. Now let's say user selected a mini statement. Now this option will come here. So what is user selected? One mini statement. Yes. So user is asking mini statement. So it will go to the relevant database table. So it retrieves the last 10 rows, 20 rows as per the mini statement instructions. Then it will result back to the COBOL. COBOL will read. If there are no transactions, the relevant, let's say today you took the account, you are trying to see the mini statement. Obviously, you will not be having any transaction. The relevant messages will be printed to the end user. So this is how it happens in the backend. We know ATM machine itself, but how in the backend it happens, that you can see here. Any queries?
No, sir.
Okay, so this is something how the CICS is going to work in mainframe technology. Right. Let's come back to the introduction to CICS. So CICS stands Customer Information Control System. Okay, it is a subsystem. Again, I'm repeating, CICS is a subsystem. When I say the subsystem team, by default, ZOS operating system will not provide CICS. So we have to procure the license. We have to take the license from the IBM. Then only we can use CICS. So it is going to run on its own address space in ZOS operating system in CPU. And CICS will be used as a front-end technology, as a front-end application in mainframe technology. So this is all about CICS for time being. Now I'll explain differences between batch and online application. So I'll explain differences between batch and online application. So okay, I'll talk about batch application. So you should know before you attend this session, right? You should know about batch application. So example for batch application, bank statements, generating a bank statement, pay slips, reports, inventory reports or inventories, all things will come under batch application. Okay, all these examples will come under batch application. In batch application, there is no end user involvement directly. In batch application, there is no end user involvement directly. So to get the monthly bank statement, end user will do something on monthly basis? No, right? They will not. So what happens when you are opening the account? Okay, you can select you want. Nowadays it is a mandatory getting the bank statement every month, right? So let's say bank given the option to you. So then you will select I don't want any bank statement monthly basis. So either you select or not select, that happens only once, or you might update in the address, maybe you might update in the app, or you will update in the bank after some few months or years. Correct? So that is only the one which end user will do. Otherwise, every month bank will read all the transactions what you did in the last month. Okay, so by this time you would have got the bank statement. So this is something example for batch application. There is no user involvement. Pay slips also. For pay slips, nothing okay you can do here. So company, all MNC companies will send the pay slip on monthly basis. Let's say you got the hike, just they will tell that you got the hike. Accordingly, in the backend system, they will do some calculation. Okay, how much tax, how much reductions, what is the take home, what are the components you selected in your package, HRA, okay, any health insurance, all the things, pay slips. After all the calculations, everyone you will get the pay slip. And Paytm statement, credit card statement, debit card statement. All things are going to come to the end user without his or our intervention or response. So this is all about batch application. So online application. Okay, so online application, example, internet banking or IRCT, railway station counter. In railway station counter, the reservation will be there, right? That is the one. Okay, ATM machines. ATM machines. If you go to the airport to visit, anytime you visit the airport, just you observe, they might be. Now, I don't say that all the airlines companies are using mainframes. I don't say that, but most of the companies will be using mainframe as their front end because it's a secure, right? So ATM machines, reservation counters, and many more. And manufacturing companies are using online application. Okay, online application. These are all example for online application. So we saw the example. Okay, so what is the ratio of the projects in mainframe technology? So as you are aware, team, you should aware. Okay, when you are attending the kicks, by this time we should know very well about the mainframe applications in real time. So most of the clients, based on my experience, most of the clients will choose, or they already chosen, they will choose for batch application. Straightforward. Okay. So what does mean? When you are going to the market, any grocery or shopping mall and all, you will do choose the best one. And okay, when you are trying to buy shoes or cloth, you will see affordable or not. Then you see the quality, durability, and flexibility. What you will choose? Flexibility, durability, cost, when it's affordable or not, and the quality. If possible, you might see the brand also. Some people might see the brand when you are choosing any item, any object, right? So any other clients also, will choose as per their business requirement. So who are their end users? If you take a Bank of America, Royal Bank of Scotland, Citibank, First Data, Tesco, Walmart, right? So they also choose technology as per their end users choice, or what end users are interested in, what they are interested, how they are comfortable. So we do all the calculations. Okay, so the client will do all the calculation, then they will decide technology. So why I'm telling that, you will understand now. So the clients will use mainframe technology for batch application. So mainly they used to store their data in mainframe technology, nothing else. Okay, they are using, why they are using still? Because if they store the data in mainframe technology, they can process huge amount of the data within milliseconds. They can process the huge amount of the data, ATM transactions, okay, credit card transactions, debit card transactions, insurance premium payments. This type of transactions can happen within a fraction of milliseconds. The speed of the processing the transactions. The second one is the second one is security. Once your data is in mainframe, nobody can touch it. Okay, so which means that there is no concept of virus in mainframe technology so far. Okay, so okay, since 50 years, I mean last 10 years, I did not hear any news or rumor or anything that okay, mainframe is hacked by some ex hacking team. Why hacking team? I did not heard. If you take any website, okay, any website you take, so any web page, you cannot say that that is more secure, right? So most of the banks, insurance companies, they use mainframe to store their data in mainframe technology only for storing. So if you take out of 100 customers, 100 clients, 80 clients will choose only for bunch application. They don't want to use front end CICS. 80, okay, only 10 to 20%. 20 also is a maximum. Okay, 20 also is a maximum. So if you take online application, as I said, so 5 to 15, between 5 to 15% of the clients only will choose online application. Okay, they will choose online application. Now you will get a doubt. So why I have to pay the fees for this particular CICS training? Why I have to attend? Okay. So now the job openings on CSS. That is the reason you might be attending, or you got a project on CSS. Okay, what is there? What is required in the market? We will go as per that, right? It's not as per the choice which I said now, right? Right. Any queries so far?
Okay.
Right. So in batch
Venkat,
application,
hello.
yeah, go ahead.
Venkat, this is Aarti. You said many companies are using because of security and all, but why many are migrating from mainframe then mainframe to APIs? I have heard like this. I mean, cloud or APIs. What is the reason for it?
See, okay, yeah, it will go on more. It is out of, actually it's not related to this context. Anyhow, I'll try to give simple answer because I can spend 1 hour, 2 hours also on this question. So if the clients are moving to other technology, which means that you know very well, okay, we know it very well that mainframe is huge cost involved. Okay, mainframe is huge cost involved. So the maintenance, what is the car maintenance is what? So every month, so you have to send it to service center. So you have to do service every month. So you might spend, you may not spend, right? So similarly, even mainframe also is a use constant word to store the data Okay, so there is a huge cost involved. The clients, the companies are not getting that much profit. Obviously, what they do, they will try to optimize the cost. They will try to reduce the cost. So the clouds are coming for cheaper than the mainframe technology. That is the one of the reason. The second one, don't this point what I'm saying, don't compare in India. Okay, if you see other countries, there is a resource crunch in US, UK, and other countries. The people are not there on mainframe technology. There is a resource crunch on mainframe technology in different countries. So that is another also reason. If you see USA, couple of years back, so mainframe was their subject, okay, one of the subject in their education, mainframe. But if you see in India, mainframe is or was not at all a subject in our education, still now and earlier also. But earlier, okay, in US, what I know, so mainframe was the one of the course stream or one seminar, one semester is there. So when you see the client, right? So example, you're running a business. When you're running the business, you are starting, you're planning to start grocery shop or a restaurant or other hotels or something else. You will see the resource crunch. Yes or no? You'll see nowadays if you see the restaurant or hotels, okay, so every owner will tell that there is a human resource crunch is there. When people are not interested, people are not coming. Okay, even if you to go to the grocery shop, they're choosing the best. Okay, simple one where they are getting the same money. You got it? So simple. Okay, you are think just to think as a one small organization owner, small restaurant owner. So you when you are going to start the business, you will calculate everything. Correct? So obviously the client like Bank of America, how much investment they are spending on the software. So then think about them. Okay. Any queries? Okay. Now I hope you got the answer. Right. So batch application. So in the batch application, what is the input? Who will give the input? So we will get, okay, there is a COBOL program to generate the report. For that, we need an input. Who will be giving the data? The data is going to come from databases, DB2, or VSAM, or IMS DB, and other databases. So the language which we use is COBOL. Okay. So technologies, okay. So the output, is it immediate output? So we don't get immediate response. Okay, as per the schedule you get output. But in case of API, okay, online application, input end user will give the input. Language which we use is, I'll talk about technologies rather than I take this. So input and output is immediate. Okay, output is immediate. This is something. Now, okay. So what are the modules we use in batch application? PSY SPF is a common as a developer. BCL, VSAM or DB2 are both of them, and COBOL or PL1. But when it comes to online application, what are the modules we use? So TSO ISPF, We don't use JCL to run VSAM or DB2, COBOL, CICS, CICS. Okay, so any queries? You got the differences between batch and online application? Arvind, who given the meeting details to you? Arvind, did I share meeting details to you? Yeah. So any queries, team?
TL1 is not used in CICS.
So not sure. I did not see that. Okay, I mean, maybe they might be using. Right, I'm not sure. Okay, the result is not listed. So don't think what I have written that is the only final one. Okay, okay. What where most of the projects what they refer, I have given them only here. You got it? So here I have not mentioned IMS DB. You can write IMS DB, right? Yeah. Okay, team. So we are done with the theoretical related stuff. Now I'll discuss why I explain this topic. If you're having less than 3 years experience, some people will ask a question, what are the differences between batch and online application? So they will ask the differences between batch and online application. Next, we'll talk about maps and the screens. So this will take some time. Okay, in your responses, screens. So, okay, what is a screen team? I'll take you one example. I'll mention 2-3 screens. This is a screen one. This is screen. And in the screen one, I'm going to create or design the screen. Login screen. Or you say that login page, anything is fine. Then user ID, password. That's it. Second screen, calculator screen or page. A value, it is it. B value, it is it. Operator, plus minus or something you enter. Result and message. So how we design this type of the screens, right? So there are two ways to develop. Okay, there are two ways to develop this type of the screens. One is using assembler macros. You might get doubt immediately. Is it required? Assembler to know? Not required. Don't worry. So one is assembler macros we use. Another one is HDF tool. Okay, it is a commercial tool. We are not referring it. We are not using it in our content, in our training. Screen design facility. What is SDF stands? Screen design facility. SDF stands screen design facility. Using SDF tool or assembler macros. There are other tools also. Okay, there are other tools also, but we are referring assembler macros in our training. Now, if it is assembler macros, we have to write the code from the scratch. But when it comes to the SDF, it's like a drag and drop, like a paint. How you drag it, same way we use SDF tool. Okay, here and there you have to select some options. Okay, no, it's not that much easy. and it is not that much complex. Okay, you once you go through it, if someone gives the KT to you, you can work on directly SDF2. That I can say. Now, so how you develop the screens, right? So we use assembler macros, as I said. There are three macros team. Okay, assembler macros are three macros are there. Okay, one is DFH MSD. Start remembering them now from now. DFH MDI, DFH MDF. So total how many macros are there? There are three macros: DFH MSD, DFH MDI, DFH MDF. So something called to define the map set, to define the map set, to define the map set, to define the map set. We use DFH MSD macro to define the map. To define the map, use DFH MDI macro, and to define field, use okay we use DFH MDF macro. Okay, so a little bit more about the map set. Collection of maps we call as a map set. Collection of fields we call as a map. So field you know very well already. So this is all macros. You will get to know more practically. Right now, when I see when I talk about the field, there are you need to understand the field concept. There are three types of fields in code screen. One is auto skip, that we can call as a label. Okay. It is just indicator. There is something called protect. Okay, there is something called protect. We use protect when this field we use when we want to send data from screen from program to screen. So we use protect. End user cannot enter the values. They cannot enter if you declare the protect. There is something called unprotect. Okay, so when I declare a field with the unprotect, user can enter the data, end user, or program can send the data to screen. So remember the definitions. Please remember the definition. Now you'll get a clarity. Right. Now, if okay, I'll copy the definitions. Yeah. Now you saw the definitions, right? I'll give the numbering part. Just you guess which is falling under which category. So this is one category. Protect is another category. Unprotect is another category. So I'll give the numbers. After field, the relevant number is there. So we don't define the numbers, just for our discussion purpose. I'm giving this many fields are there basically. How many fields are there? 8 fields are there. I decided that this screen going to have 8 fields. Now you tell me which field. This is a one field. So user ID is the second field. This icons is the third field. Password is the fourth field. Now which fields are on auto skip? So what is a label? Only just for for user indication purpose we use that field as a auto skip. We declare as a auto skip. Now you give the number. If you know already kicks before, don't give the answers. The people who don't know kicks who are attending first time, you can give the answer. Yeah. So what are the fields are auto skip fields? Auto skip means user cannot enter, program cannot send. You just guess it.
Login page.
You tell me the numbers. Okay, I've given the number
One,
now. Rather than one. Okay,
one,
very
two,
good.
four, seven.
4,
Two,
7. 4, 7 is okay. Yeah. So 2.
two.
Yeah. So team, this is just a header, right? It is a header. Okay. So we can call them headers. It is a header. So why? Okay, it is a header. Our user is will enter any data? No, right? User will not enter. So program will send anything? No, right? No. Next, user ID just indicator. You take example of Facebook or Gmail or any other application, Amazon, Flipkart, anything you take, it's a header. So that user will understand, okay, this is somewhere I have to enter the mobile number, email ID, email ID, that they will understand. Same case with even password also. Same case with the password and message also. Okay, so make sense? Now, which field numbers are protected?
8.
Protect 8. So some people can say that why 8 also? It is valid in your context also. The protect is 8 only because I will use this field. Okay, the purpose of using this field only. Okay, purpose of using this field is only if something entered by the end user here wrong, something is wrong. Okay, if the user ID is entered wrong or password is entered wrong, both are blank, to display, to return the message to the end user, I will be using this field. That is the main objective. Okay, next. So user will enter here and user will enter the password, hence 3 and 5. Any queries? Okay, so now you decide here. 1, 2, 5, 6, 11. Now you tell me which fields are auto unprotected. First you tell me that which fields are auto skip, which fields are protect. Give me the numbers.
Unprotected are 2, 4, 6.
Okay, unprotected are, what are the unprotecteds?
2, 4, 6.
No, it is not correct. See, this is something, I guess there is misunderstanding. This is a
Yeah,
one
yeah,
field.
357. Sorry, 357.
E57. Okay, right, very good. What are the fields are auto skip where is a header? We will be using an header.
1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
What are the fields are protected?
9 and 11.
9 and 11. Yeah. So any queries, Steve? Do you have any queries? So like this, okay. Like this we will define the maps. Okay. I'll talk about the maps and definition and all. So that's all for today. We'll spend from tomorrow 1 hour. Okay. Don't worry.